What's up, Geeks and Gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are talking about Dune because I just got back from seeing it in IMAX. Now, I'm someone that was not familiar with the source material of Dune, and I didn't even go into this movie with a lot of expectations. I heard about a lot of people hyping it up. A lot of people were enjoying it. A lot of people were saying it was going to be this great thing. Obviously, there was some controversy about a year ago. I covered here on the channel about it potentially going woke. And then once I covered that, then I heard from Dune fans, and then I kind of gave more context saying, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not going to be. Time will tell. Ultimately, here we are, where we're at the film now. It's been released. People are talking about it. Reviews are rolling out. And for me, as someone that didn't have high expectations or low expectations and didn't have a familiarity with the source material, I'm here to tell you that I loved this movie. I was blown away by this movie. From the moment it begins until the moment it ended, I was completely immersed in this world because of Denis Villeneuve, or whatever his name is. This guy is a fantastic director, and every single shot in this movie is meant to make you feel like you are part of something grand, something epic, which is a word I don't like to use because it gets overused. Epic is the exact way to describe Dune, especially in IMAX. I'm telling you, go see it in IMAX. Go see it on the biggest, loudest screen and sound system you can possibly find because it pulls you in. And, you know, there's the politics of the environment and the world that we're in. And if you don't know the source material, as I didn't, you know, you're kind of caught up to speed fairly easily. It's pretty easy to kind of understand the setting and the world and what's going on. Basically, it's got a Game of Thrones vibe to it. And you start understanding that pretty quickly. And I'm not going to get into spoilers or anything like that. I will say the cast I thought was absolutely incredible. The relationship between Jason Momoa's Duncan and Timothée Chalamet's Paul, unbelievable. Like, it gave a level of, you know, heart and humanity to everything. And there's more I would like to say about that relationship, and other relationships within the story, but it really kind of brings it to a human level, but also while you're watching this incredible scope that, you know, Villeneuve kind of created. Like, he puts you in this world, but he makes you feel like this world is so massive and the scale is so incredible. And the story, look, it is a little slow, and I think it's a slow burn, and a lot of people probably are going to get turned off by that, but I wasn't. Now, there is a problem potentially with this movie, but it's not necessarily with this movie as much as it's advertised as part one, and I don't know what's going to happen in part two, but, like, it's heavily reliant upon part two, because this is very much almost like a half of a movie in some ways. I mean, when it ended, I wasn't ready for it to end, but it's weird because it's got like a 2.5 hour runtime. At no point was I feeling like this movie needs to end or this movie's running too long. I could have sat through another 1.5 hours of this movie. So the ending was a little kind of unexpected, but it's building to that next part. And the next part, I think this movie is going to kind of be remembered by how that next part kind of continues the story. But if we're just talking about this movie in itself, it feels like that there's more to it. It feels like, you know, a TV series almost is kind of how it's weird because I loved everything about it, but it left me wanting so much more. And I guess that's the sign of, you know, a really well-told story with great characters, great character development, bringing you into the environment, making you understand the world that we're in. And I didn't want it to end. And I didn't want any of this to end. I just wanted to continue seeing what happened. So I was blown away by Dune. I was blown away by it. And I can't wait to get further into this world. I mean, for right now, I mean, there's your cast, which this cast was amazing. This cast was incredible. I loved everything about this cast. You know, I really didn't know what to expect. But now that I've seen Dune and I've experienced the Now, again, I don't know if it was more so of Villeneuve's directing and the scope and the scale that he put us on, or if it's more about that this is just a really good story. Again, I don't know the source material that well. All I know is that I walked into this film relatively unknown about all of this world, these characters, and this story, and I was pulled in from the moment it began until the moment that it ended. Now, as I said, I did say that I reported this back in 2020, bad news, Dune goes woke. That did not happen at all. Then I did kind of make a follow-up to that, say, wrong, Dune not going woke. This movie was awesome. This movie was absolutely awesome. And I'm probably going to go back and watch the original Dune just so I can kind of get a little more feel for this, but I can't wait to see part 2. I think that, the directing, the cinematography, the soundtrack, the score, the acting, everything about this was on point, and I can't wait to see more. So I highly recommend Dune. I highly recommend it. Then again, need to preface what I'm saying. This is not an action fest, okay? It's just not. It's not an action fest. There's some action in it, but there's a lot of story. There's a lot of slow burn development, but I think it works because of the way that it's shot and the way that you're introduced to this world by the directing. It makes you feel like you are part of something that is just grand and epic in scope. I was thrilled every second I sat through this movie. Great job to Villeneuve, great job to this cast, great job to the cinematography, great job. I think Hans Zimmer scored it, which that doesn't surprise me at all because Hans Zimmer is awesome, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look and see. Trying to look and see who scored it right here. Can't find it. Music by Hans Zimmer. There you go. So Hans Zimmer did score it. And that doesn't surprise me at all because the score it's got that Inception style of where it's just beating the hell out of you, but in the best way possible. So go see it in IMAX. It is awesome, and it deserves every bit of your attention. But again, you have to understand it's not just action fest. There's a lot of story, and there's a lot of developing, and there's a lot of building you up because I guess we're heading to the second part of the story, which hopefully will be a great payoff, because if the second part of the story isn't good, I think that it really has an impact on what the buildup was here. It's almost like how Game of Thrones, the first several seasons of Game of Thrones was incredible. Some of the best stuff you ever seen. And then it all falls apart and becomes a complete and total, shit show after you get through the final few seasons, especially that season 8. And then you think back onto the original part that you love so much and you don't even want to think about it. So while this was an amazing film in its own right, it definitely feels like it's going to have to need that continuation for that payoff. But for what we have, for what we've seen right now, it did its job, and I loved everything about it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Check us out on geeksandgamers.com, our website. Our writers have been doing a fantastic job pumping out all types of articles. We also have a Twitch channel, Geeks and Gamers. You can go check us out over there. We have a gaming channel here on YouTube. We have a Epic Game Clips YouTube channel. We put a lot of comedic stuff over there. We have a park hopping channel for theme parks. We have a sports channel called Sports Wars to cover major sports, professional sports, things like that. Geeks and Gamers just continues to grow, and the only way we are able to do what we do is because of all of you. So thank you very much. Have a great day, and we will talk to you later.